Hello, my name is Walt Cameron, publisher of Edible Magazine here in New Mexico, and recently I visited Santa Fe Spirits, a local distillery making some of the finest whiskey, brandy, vodka, and gin in the entire world. Colin Keegan moved to Santa Fe in 1992 with his wife Suzette and daughter Phoebe, and spent 15 years as an architect. When the economy took a downturn, he decided to turn his distilling hobby into a business. And in 2010, he opened Santa Fe Spirits.
You have an actual apple orchard.
Apple orchard, yes.
That's where you got your start?
Yeah, I was growing apples, and we built our house in an apple orchard in 2001, and every summer would have apple pickings and a fun time and make as much juice as we could and give away juice and make apple pies, and we had too much, so I fermented some into hard cider, which seemed like fun, and the next step obviously was to go to apple brandy, which seemed like fun. That's the point where you really need a serious license. You can home ferment, but you can't home distill.
Oh.
I realized that, changed the rules and regulations for me, and then built a business around it.
That business has grown into an operation boasting 7 spirits in 9 states, with 3 other export markets, and 11 employees. Santa Fe Spirits has quadrupled its facility size and opened a second tasting room in downtown Santa Fe.
So tell us a little bit about the distillation process.
The distillation process. We bring in bags of grain, about 2,000 pounds at a time, and we put it into this, which is a mash vessel. We basically pour a lot of hot water over the top of it to make what is a very flavored barley water. We lauter that, which means you pull the flavored barley water out the bottom, put it into the top again, and keep pulling the flavor out of the grain. Once it's pulled all the flavor out, we hook a pipe up to the bottom, pump it over here, and this is a fermentation tank. When you've fermented that, which takes about 3 days in these tanks, back to hoses, you connect a hose to the bottom, pull it out and push it into the still. Now what the still does is it takes high volume, low alcohol to low volume, high alcohol. So this is the pot, and what the pot does, the alcohol vapor is escaping the solution here, coming up through this into the onion head dome, pull it up and over the top. The first run we go straight into the condenser, come down and into this container here. That's stripping the alcohol out. We then take that solution called low wines, put it back into the still, and run it a second time.
That second process further refines the alcohol, after which it is deposited into barrels for aging.
Aging whiskeys and brandies is at least 50% of the flavor process. These are 53-gallon barrels. This is the traditional way to make any whiskey. What happens in here is you pour the whiskey in and it oxidizes over the years that it ages. The oxidation process builds a longer molecular chain, smoothing the whiskey out. Hence, typically when you buy a whiskey, the older the better. The inside of this is charred, like this stave we have here. What that does is it lets the whiskey penetrate the fibers better. When you cut wood, you squeeze the fibers, and burning it opens the fibers up, which means the whiskey can soak into the wood better. You can even see on here, there's a stain mark. That's actually where the whiskey's bled into the barrel, and as it comes back out of the barrel, it pulls the flavor of the oak with it.
That oak essence is what gives whiskey its distinctive flavor and color. After our tour, I sat down with Colin to sample some of his best sellers.
What we're about to try is the Colin Keegan whiskey. So it's a mesquite smoked single malt that we age in new and used oak. If you smell it, it noses like what we would call an Islay whiskey, a Scottish whiskey with a smoky flavor.
Yeah.
They use peat when we use mesquite, again, to keep it regional. And you get a lot of smoke on the nose, but if you do a taste, it's not as smoky on the taste.
So it's the heart of the whiskey.
This is the heart of the matter.
Heart of the matter.
Colin has helped establish New Mexico as a leader in the craft distilling movement. You can find his spirits in local restaurants or liquor stores throughout the state, or you can enjoy straight from the source at one of their tap rooms in Santa Fe. So the next time you're in Santa Fe, why not give Santa Fe Spirits a try?
Cheers.
You'll be glad you did.
Ha